Welcome back. You're watching Weekend Live on SABC2. Now, today, Weekend Live's weekly and traditional celebration of South African buildings and architecture takes us to Braamfontein and introduces us to architect Hugh Fraser. Now, the Joburg-based architect appreciates the 70 Juta Street, a small complex with a big impact on its surroundings.
We're on the corner of De Beer and Juta, and what I like about it is not so much specifically the building as a regeneration of an area. I mean, Johannesburg is essentially an American city, and American cities, well, there's a difference between, say, New York and Los Angeles, and Johannesburg is somewhat of a Los Angeles-type city. So there's been massive urban flight out of the city centre, and what I like about this area specifically is that it's got some historical connections, but it's also got about regeneration of activities. So behind us we've got 70 Juta, which is a little complex of shops, coffee shops, kind of a little bit trendy. You can come and do your Wi-Fi or like drink coffee, like that New York style kind of stuff. But on the inside as well, there's a little courtyard which is really nice. The idea of shops that are facing onto the courtyard and activities. So it's the idea of bringing people back into the city as opposed to malls, which I think are a huge drain on human social life, actually. The famous architect Mies van der Rohe said, less is more. A friend of mine, Rick Joy, said less is more money or less is more work. And the idea of overcomplicated buildings, often, to make something look really nice, you have to spend a lot more money. And the quality of architectural building in South Africa is not great. So, I mean, I can't speak for the architects, but my interpretation of it is that I think that they're doing something very simple, the idea of colors, the simple little bay windows, things that can't go wrong too easily, things that are not going to age too much over time. So there's a simplicity about it that's really nice. And also we're very much in an architectural age that speaks about simplicity. So I think it speaks to that as well. What I like about this area is that there's life on the street. Braamfontein traditionally has always been about activity commercial during the day and completely abandoned at night. So I like the idea of people, and right behind the building as well is a small complex of, I think, 7 apartments, one per building. It's a little bit upmarket, but also the idea of students living in Braamfontein is great. So what's great about this is it's a little a magnet to attract people onto the coffee shops, the restaurants, and the art galleries on the corner, the Brody Stevenson on the next corner as well. Architects build buildings for people. They don't build buildings for nobody. They build them for people. So you don't have to be an architect. It's about the vibe that you have around, how you live your life, who you speak to. That's what's so great about New York. I mean, it's not about malls. It's about street life.